Carl and Charlene. Real talk for the real world. Let's get it. Real talk with Carl and Charlene. Real talk for the real world. Let's get it. Real talk with Carl and Charlene. Real talk for the real world. Let's get it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. Welcome to another fire edition of Real Talk with Carl and Charlene. It is Happy Tuesday. We're into another week, and you know how we do it here on Real Talk. Look, we're going to be talking today about business. We're just going to be letting it all hang out. We're going to be talking. We don't have a guest today, but we're going to be giving you guys some information, some stuff to go see, some things to sign up for, and some interesting things that Real Talk got coming forward to you. For all our guests that are tuning in, please drop in the comments where you're tuning in from. Let us know where you're checking in from. Also, drop in the comments any questions or topics that you guys want us to cover, because it's really about you guys. You know, we're a global show. We're glad that you guys are tuning in. And for those who are not live, we're going to put it in a hashtag replay so you guys can get all the info for Real Talk. But as you always know, I can't do this by myself. I got to welcome my wonderful co-host to the stage. Can you all give me a nice round of applause? I know you can't hear me. But Charlene Brown.
What's up, Charlene? What's going on? I'm seeing
much better.
Chandra joined us. Hey, Chandra.
What's up, Sandra? How you be? How you be? I need some of them green smoothies that you do. Most definitely.
Okay, I need to get back in my smoothie game because folks out here not playing. I'm like, okay. Yes, hello everyone. I hope you guys are having a great October. Fall is here. It feels like winter.
Yeah,
I'm ready
in
to
Jersey too.
bubble.
I got my sweater on. Got my
I'm ready
sweater
to pull my
on.
bubble out. Like,
It's not that cold.
Do not be alarmed if you spin a bubble in my house. I have my windows wide open. So yeah, that's gonna be about that life.
Wow. It is. It's cold. It's in the 50s here in New Jersey. So you can tell I got a sweater on today, sitting in the home. But it is gloomy, of course. Funny thing about it though, I saw the weather, and beginning tomorrow for the rest of the week is gonna feel like August. So you tell me, am I taking out the sweaters too early? Because they told us we're gonna need shorts back on by the time Thursday and Friday and the weekend roll around. I
They
can't.
can say what they want to.
Yeah, because I
They
don't be
can
doing
say
all that changing. Once the season change, I'm in. I'm in, homie. I don't care because I don't care because these people around here,
exactly.
they ride around sometimes in April with the tops down. They be looking for it to be hot, and they be now me, homie. When it gets warm, I'll be okay. When it gets cold, then I'll be okay because I'm gonna be right in seats.
You see, Chandra, I love it,
So
child.
she
She
got a
is
program for me.
promoting. She said, "We got you."
Yeah, she got you. I know she got a program for me. I be seeing Sandra be she all over there, all over. She works with Puff Daddy, all in the videos, all on the different platforms, mixing up,
Wow,
mixing up her
wow.
little mixing up her little blender drinks, I mean, with her grass and herbs and all that good stuff going in there for her. I
It's
don't know, but
different than Puffy if it's your video.
yeah, that just fit with everything now when we doing videos. I just say, Puppy all in the video. But it is though. She doing great work. Shouts out to her and what she's doing. If you need anything as far as being healthy, she got it. She got it. I don't know if she turned her husband yet, because last I checked, he was doing ribs. But other than that, she got it. She got it.
Yes,
Uh,
helping the folks because that's what we do. I'm super excited because 2 out of 4 websites are being launched. Well, they have already been launched. We're in soft launch mode, where my clients are going to start gathering their 10 most trusted people. Because I always tell them, get people who will tell you the truth, but we are not touching the layout. We've been
yes.
doing it already. Layout is set. You check links because a lot of times, especially when when we've been working together for so long on a project, you tend to miss things. So you want to
Hmm.
bring in people with fresh eyes, people who you can trust, people who actually um, can give you that honest feedback to say, yes, this needs to, this is what I'm getting, and they can send you screenshots, give you details, because a lot of times people say, oh, it's not working. What's not working? What page do you want? Talk to me. Don't make me pull teeth. So we're in soft launch mode. And there's two more sites getting ready to come through. So I'm super, super excited. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. We got the website coming up. We're gonna have you guys just like it's just things are just going
Hmm.
so quick. Sometimes you get kind of amazed at how things go and how we've just been just rolling along and how the show has just really progressed. It just took up so much steam. We just got so many
Hmm.
avenues that's coming out. We did on the website. Of course, we got the social medias coming out as well. We're gonna bust out with the YouTube channel. We just giving y'all sneak
Yeah.
peeks into it because this real talk is here to stay. So we got it. It is what it is. It's for the people. We already booked up into 2022. You know what I mean? We so busy. We
Woo!
we able to take a Christmas break. We're gonna take a break. What is it? 2 weeks. Toward the end of Thanksgiving and
Two
into
weeks.
Christmas. I
Mm-hmm.
think it is. Yeah, about
Yeah.
2 weeks for Christmas through New Year's. So when we bust back out, we're gonna have that New Year's special, that first 2022 special on January the 4th, and we're just gonna kick it off live with a lot of things for you guys and a lot of information and a lot of leveling up in business because we're gonna be in Q1 and we're gonna be giving you all the strategies and
Hmm.
all the things you need to level up. You know what I mean? So we're going to level up from your vulnerability spot for how you can be authentic, showcase yourself to be the real you so you can be
Yes.
not a clone, so you can be genuine. People can get with you. And also with that, we're going to transition that into your website, your persona, what you want to do with your strategy, how you going to convey this to
Hmm.
people coming up in 2022. So if you haven't got on it and you haven't worked on it, don't worry about it. We here to guide you through it step by step. Follow us Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. The Real Talk. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
And speaking of getting your site together, I'm gonna do my plug. And
Yes.
Carl, I messaged you, so
Yes.
do
Yes.
that.
I'm
Okay,
looking for my stuff now. I'm trying to get professional.
but
This is my
um,
accountability buddy.
but
This is my accountability partner.
my plug is to get people. I would love to help 40 people. 40 people. I'm down to 40 now. But it's going to be real steady, 40 people, and all we're going to focus on is either your content strategy for your website or your actual full out website strategy. Different strategy sessions, figure out which one you want to be on, or you can do both of them. Let me know, hit me up. um, my main one is to get your content, because I've noticed so many people are struggling with their content. You fall prey to the whole, oh, let's get your website up in 4 days, let's get your website up in 24 hours. That's only possible if your content is together. Most people don't have that. Most people content is non-existent. Most people don't even understand what they need for their website because they're following everyone else. You may need a whole different content strategy, meaning all you really need to have is, let's say you really need a landing page. You need to fill out what the benefits are for somebody, and then you need to take them directly to a pay cart. You don't need a full out 5-page website because you are just focusing on one strategy, one service, one product, just so you can see if it's a viable product. And that's where we don't waste time creating an entire website. We want to make sure that whatever you're doing is going to be viable. Then you can start pulling in all your resources into that.
Absolutely. And it's what the biggest thing about what we're going to be doing and what we are doing, not what we're going to be doing, what's already in the process, is we're going to have it where you're going to be really laser focused on the things that you need to get on, because a lot of people are coming up with business things, and when I say this, I know putting this is putting this into effect of where, what you're going to do, how you're going to get this together. The website thing is so unclear. Believe me, I know I went through the process. It was a definite struggle with me where I thought content that I had was really saying the things that I needed to say. Get into the fact and get into the point of the premise of getting your stuff together, putting your stuff out there. Beta is so important because a lot of times we get to this perfection mode where we think we got to have everything all together.
Yeah.
If you've been doing what you're doing, you love what you're doing, you're in tune with what you're doing, you understand and explaining it to someone else what you're doing, get into putting together those pieces, and you'll be surprised how
Mhm.
gradually stuff comes along. And when you look at it, no one is out here just starting businesses from the ground and they just shooting the rocket to success. There has to be some trial and error. There has to be some things that you're going to fail at. There are some things that, that's not going to be the greatest, not going to move, but that's the process in growing as an entrepreneur, solopreneur,
Right.
whatever you may be. Once you put it out there, then you got that strategy. Then that strategy is going to change. Because I tell you, when I first started this, and Charlene probably knows this as well. She first started, I was on the trajectory. It's like south of where I am now. I was like, I'm not even in that process no more. I've changed, and not changed from the dynamic of what I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
changed from the presentation of how it's coming out. Now, it's a whole different thing. So it's amazing to see the growth. It's amazing um, to see what people are doing and put it out there so people can have confidence in what you're doing. They have confidence in you. You got the following. Put it out. Let them tell you how it is before, like she said, that one laser thing or that one laser concept that you're trying to do. Because a lot of people out here in these streets, they just putting a whole bunch of stuff out. And they say, are you on the sidelines? Are you in the game? They in the game, but they ain't playing. They ain't playing.
Exactly. And you don't want that. You coming in, we people been talking about this all year. All year. So why not just make it something where you are now focusing on it? Stop being on the sidelines and take action, get yourself together, and then boom, you got it popping up.
Yes, absolutely. So, what are we covering today? What are we covering today? I know we talking about that. She told them about your website. Let me tell y'all what I got going on, because I always got a lot of things going on, and sometimes having a lot of things going on ain't good. I'm just going to tell you that right now. We get those out the way. School is a monster. Anybody that's been, especially if you're old as me, going to school, it's a monster. So I mean, law school is no joke for all of those who want to be attorneys. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I am a smart one. So doing that. So with that being aside, the business is really picking up. I'm driving the traffic that I really wanted to drive when I was in corporate. And the thing about it is that
Mhm.
people are really getting it in this vulnerability thing. I've got a lot of people that has come to me like DMs and just really signing up and talking. They're getting ready for this toolkit, the vulnerability toolkit. We got 4 modules in there. It's an 8 module course, but I'm dropping 4 to begin because I really want to concentrate on these 4 parts, and I really want people to get this and work through this. I got worksheets that's going to be
Mhm.
included with this, and we got projects that we're going to do collectively. The thing about vulnerability that I found out with dealing with people and working with people most of the time, as a unit, people tackle it better. And when I say that, you need the help from the community, and the community is mostly those that's dealing with those same things that you're dealing with, but they're not in that area or that space to say, you know what, this is what's going on with me and this is what I'm weak about. And we find that a lot even in our corporate spaces. But you can be vulnerable in your corporate spaces and that not be the culture. See, that's what a lot of people don't understand. It doesn't have to be a traumatic thing of like, oh, I'm being vulnerable in this spot. They're gonna look at me as weak. They're gonna look at me as not knowing what I'm doing. They're gonna look at me like that. The course of it is, the action of it is that you can be vulnerable and you can practice that vulnerability in your workspace. You can practice that vulnerability in your home. You can have those deeper connections, those deeper relationships. You can model that emotional vulnerability.
Mhm.
It's a help to create that psychological safe space at your jobs where people feel empowered to share with you. Especially if you're being leaders, like even that's just across the board. That's really important. And to help you be an effective leader is to show that vulnerability because we don't all have it together. I don't care who's your boss. I don't care who they're trying to see. I don't care who they're trying to sound like, who they're trying to be like. They do not have all the answers. And you could be the highlight and you could be the guiding light and the shining light for those who want to be real in the workplace and real with themselves. It's all start with you. So you could take my one of my main courses of advice, you take you with you wherever you go. So therein lies wherever situation it is, wherever you change your dynamic, you is the
Mhm.
one going. So if you're not whole, you're not vulnerable, you're not authentic in where you're going, it doesn't matter the location. You still carrying a phony with you. And we know how them phony leaders are. I'm sure we've all had them.
Man, now do you have? Is this a download you have? Is it the
Yes, this is
vulnerability toolkit
this is
download? What is
this
it?
is this that I got the link that's in there. That's a download to a snippet of what the course is going to entail. It rides you through those first four modules. It gives you a little bit of information about what we're going to be covering. But I do have the URL. I am not as savvy as my counterpart, so I am working on the URL where you can get signed up. But a that is just kind of like a sneak peek. You know how you go to the movies, they show you the little sneak peek before you go see it. That's a sneak peek into the course. Some of the things we're going to cover, some of the highlights that you're going to be able to see, some of the stuff you're going to be able to work through. Some of the questions that you're going to really ask yourself, because I do a lot of questions, and those questions become part of your evaluation and your soul
Mhm.
searching. So it's not counseling. No, I'm not a professional, medical professional, but what it is that I've been through some struggles and I've been through some catastrophic things in my life that really could have taken a turn for the worse. But by me going in, by also by the help of God, most importantly, I can't leave him out. But by him giving me the ability to go in and search myself, I'm able to kind of do those things and give them to you as an alternative plan to you living in how you're living. You don't have to be phony. You don't have to be putting on a facade. You don't have to be scared about where you are, where you accomplished, what you haven't accomplished. And those kind of things are really important for your growth, for your development, for your innovation, for your self esteem, how you feel as a person, what kind of demeanor you put out there, what kind of confidence you have in your business, what kind of confidence you have in your work. So, all of those things are really essential to that. All right. Charlene, did you freeze on me? Yeah, so I think Martin got a great question there. How do you balance between vulnerability and showing strength and confidence? The balance is that vulnerability is actually the balance when you say that, and it's not like it's something that you're searching between there. Being vulnerable allows you to have that balance between showing strength and showing confidence because the confidence comes in you being vulnerable because it's your true self. And when you are your true self, you're truly confident in who you are. You don't worry about what others say. You don't take into consideration of how things look, how people talk, how things feel, and your strength comes from that because others are empowered by what you are displaying. Yes. All right. She's back. She's back. I was going through Martin's question there. We having power outages up there in the NYC. I was going through Martin's question there, and he was talking about balance and how do you balance between vulnerability and showing strength and confidence. And what I was telling him that vulnerability is the balance. And see,
Okay.
that's what we don't really get. Because when you're walking in your vulnerability, it allows you to show strength because no one else is doing that. So if I'm
Mhm.
seeing you in there, when people say, and then let me get this out too, I want to see that since we're going down this road. When people say to you showing vulnerability is weak, that's really a reflection of who they're not. That's what it is. Let me put that out there for everybody to grab. Like my grandma used to
Mhm.
say, I'm gonna put it where the baby can get it. When someone tells you that vulnerability is a weakness, it's a reflection of who they're not. They're not in touch with who they are really.
Right.
That is what it is. So the vulnerability is the balance because when you're vulnerable and you can show people that you don't have it all together, that's a strength to people because they're getting the knowledge of understanding that you're not a phony about what you know and what you don't know. That's
Mhm.
empowering. And not only that, it gives them confidence in working with you because you'll give people the credit. You will be able to let shine as well as you shine. So the
Right.
vulnerability it bridges the balance between the strength and the confidence. And not only that, when you're in a vulnerable spot, see, I'm confident in what I'm talking about. I'm confident who I am. I'm not worried about what you think about me. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
worried about those things. I'm not driven by what someone has put on Carl to be. And that where the confidence lies, because someone will see that in you and they'll be drawn towards you. Because first and foremost, they'll want to be that person, not necessarily you, but they'll want to be the things that's driving you. And vulnerability drives that.
And it's
Yeah.
true because you see more and more people are talking about vulnerability and they're using it almost like a catchphrase, but you have to really do some work to really focus and connect
Man.
when it comes to that. And then it really becomes that authentic, genuine response that you start to build on with people and start to build that trust with people without trying, right?
Right. And that's the key thing about it is it's work. Like people, when I first came on this platform over 2+ years ago, people saying, "Why are you talking about vulnerability?" It didn't start there. I've been talking about vulnerability ever since I've been working, ever since I was a 17, 18-year-old kid, dealing with some things that was going on with me. Ever since I had that story that I've shared before in the military. I've been dealing with vulnerability for a long time, and I've seen through in the course of how it has empowered me to put me in places that other people can't go. And it's not that they're not educated enough. It's not that they're not strong enough. It's not that they're not balanced enough. It's not that they're not degreed enough. It's not those things. What it is that I've taken what's inside of me and I've made that the strength of me. And see, a lot of times we look for outer things to validate who we are inside.
Mm,
Vulnerability doesn't do that. Vulnerability takes what's inside and validates to others that's seeing you on the outside. Yeah, y'all can write
come
that
on
down.
now.
Y'all can write that down. I know it's worth it. Not because of what I said, because I know the depths of it from my heart, and that's what's really the difference in it, and that's the driver. So Phyllis says it takes ammunition away from your haters. It actually does,
Yeah.
because of what it does is creates an atmosphere of confidence within you. So I can't get like because I had like a lot of them growing up. I was a dark skin. Like my mom looks white. My family's yellow. I was only dark, but my brother and sister they yellow, they light, they white. Like they I used to call them white bright. I was a
Hmm.
dark one in the family. So a lot of times when I went places with my family, they looked at me like I was maybe I was adopted or maybe I was a kid that they felt sorry for. Maybe we used to get these
Yeah.
looks in restaurants and things like that. So complexes was something that I dealt with even as a child. But how I got
Mm,
about that is that I was always confident in me, and I thank my dad for that, driving that confidence in me as an African American man. We don't have a lot of fathers that's standing in the gap for that, and that's what has sustained my vulnerability and my ability to stay for that. But it's a lot of that in the course. I'm not gonna give it all to you on there, but I love talking about it because it's a passion of mine. Most people, and I say this, and this is not taking a shot uh, this is not taking a shot at Brene Brown. I love her correspondence. I love her books. I love her research. I love her teachings. I love all of that. But Brene Brown can't teach Carl Sean Watkins about vulnerability. Cannot. And I don't say that in a bad
mhm.
way. I say that in a true way because I've lived it as an African American man growing up on the streets of Chicago, running from gangs and drug dealers. Yo, you can't tell me what vulnerability means to me as at the core. You
Right.
can subject some people like me to research and ask questions and try to get answers to make documents and books, but it's a
Hmm.
lifestyle for me, and that's what I tell people off the court. It's a
And
lifestyle.
and I definitely want to jump with something that Martin is saying. I don't think you are misunderstanding it, Martin. It's you're understanding it to be what it is. You're showing people your shortcomings, and it's because you're acknowledging your shortcomings. And I think
Absolutely.
that's what people are having that disconnect with. And I always go back to I'm not sure if you've seen the movie 8 Mile with Eminem, where he is sitting there portraying someone who his whole life is a wreck, right? And he's in this world of battle rap where the whole game, the whole niche of battle rap is they use your weaknesses against you. They start to out you in a sense when and they use these as a diss method. So when they're doing this, you're kind of caught off guard. So you're not sure what they're gonna say, what they're gonna use against you. What do they know? What do they don't know? You're not sure. So what Eminem's character did towards the end, and sorry folks, spoiler alert, we're going it's been out for too long that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
watch
If you ain't seen
it.
it too bad.
I'm done. But what he did was, in essence, he outed himself. So he let all of the people in the audience, and it was what, hundreds, thousands of people sitting in there
Yeah,
in
it was
some
quite a few
basement
people in there.
area. He
Yes.
let them all know his shortcomings. He said every single thing. Yeah, my girl got my girl cheated on me.
Yes, yes. Charlene, you freezing up a little bit. Yes, but he did. Eminem, he put it all out there. He let everybody know his shortcomings. He put it all in, and it was nothing that he did. It was nothing that wasn't said that you could come back and use against him. And that's really what it is. And by him doing that, that empowered him to embrace who he was. See, that's what vulnerability allows us to do. It allows us to embrace who we are as people, not trying to be something that we're not. Oftentimes you see a lot of people going through that, and they're acting and pretending to be certain ways. And not all the time is it pretending. Sometimes the avenue of looking at things through the lens of your own self creates an awareness about you that you never knew about. It empowers you to the point of being that, this is who I am. What's wrong with me? You start to ask those questions. It's nothing wrong with me. It's not that you're perfect about. It's not that you're not what you need to be. It's who you are, who you accept yourself to be, not the label that someone puts on you. And we know about labels. All of us know about labels, whether it's ethnicity label, whether it's a mental label, whether it's we got some kind of mental defect or disease. Maybe we got some people are kind of like homophobic or any of those kind of things. We've dealt with labels before, but what Charlene was talking about with Eminem, how he used that to his advantage. And this is what I tell people: strategically and intentionally use vulnerability can empower you. It's not a session where, I mean, he kind of did it like that because of the set he was in. It empowered him. He plopped down everything and put his business out there. That
Mhm.
empowered him. Vulnerability is in stages, it's individual. What works for me won't work for you, and vice versa. But what we have to come
Yeah,
to do is that in the midst of my individuality, I'm letting you know that, oh, I got a shortcoming right here. You know what I mean? I ain't proud of it. I might be working on it. I might not know what to do to get past it. But what I'm telling you is here. So I ain't shaming it. I'm not saying that makes me less than. I'm saying what it is what it is. And I think this is what people have to take as far as changing the narrative of vulnerability. It's not harmful. It's only harmful when you let people judge you and put you in places where it can't go. Because
fact,
vulnerability is you. It's everywhere. So
fact.
finish your Eminem story because I was trying
Where
to
did
set the stage
where did my rude internet cut me off at? I'm over here pouring out my whole everything. Where my rude
Oh no, you
internet?
was talking about when he was rap battling, and the Martin said good example with Eminem. Yeah, when he was rap battling and he was saying all of he was putting out all of the things that had already. And see, that's the funny thing about vulnerability. I'm gonna say this, that you could go on in. Funny thing about vulnerability is people spot it. Yes, they do. But you know what's worse than that? They spot your phoniness a mile before your vulnerability show up. So when you thinking you putting on all this facade, people ain't stupid. A lot of times people don't say it, and then sometimes people just come out and be like, "Yo, come on, man," you know what I mean? But your phoniness is spotted long before vulnerability enter the picture. So when you
Hmm.
think you putting this big thing up where people are like, I'm this, I'm that, people then already saw through you like wet toilet paper, like my grandma would say, wet toilet paper, baby. I see straight through you.
Right, right. And
Yes.
so all to say, Eminem cut his opponent at the feet, at the knees, at that,
Yeah.
and left him with nothing. Left the opponent with nothing to use against Eminem. And that's what you're doing when you're being vulnerable with your audience, when you're being vulnerable with the world. You're leaving nothing to chance. Now, you don't have to trauma dump, you don't have to throw all your business in the
Mhm.
street, but what it is that you are trying to help others with, you want to make sure that they understand you've been there, you get it. It's and you can relate. And how do you relate? Like for me, when I started web designing, I wasn't a pro. I didn't know half of what I know now. I did everything that I'm telling people in my content strategy and my website strategy, everything that I'm working through with them, I've done that. So I can tell you why you don't want to do this. I can say, look, if you're going to do content, make it matter, make it count. And why pour all your energy to social media? I'm not telling you not to create on social media, but I'm saying don't leave all your best stuff on someone else's yard. It doesn't make any sense. And then you go home and your house is empty, your yard have no grass on it. Like, what's the point? You see what I'm saying? So that's where I'm coming from when I'm telling people stop using social media as your end all be all, because they're like we saw with Facebook, we saw with Instagram, even because of the infection that Facebook has, it took down WhatsApp. So you seeing that
Contagious.
yeah, these platforms are not allowing you to rely on them in that sense, and you shouldn't. You should never leave your business in the hands of someone else where you have no control. You want to make sure that if you're going to use them, you're using them. You're using them for what they're there for, and they're there to help you get the word out. Nothing else. They're not there to help nurture you. They're not help stop it. They're there to help you get the word out. They're there to help you build those connections so you can now take those connections off those platforms and build them in your own house. So that's what all of that is to say.
Yeah, and the key about and how it even works, how me and Charlene even got it to the key about it, and even her helping me and developing and building and constructing my web. Key to that was I had to be vulnerable about the things I didn't know, because Lord knows when it came to the website, man, I didn't know a lot of stuff. I was with y'all. Y'all can admit it. Y'all can admit it. Y'all don't even have to admit it. I just search this. I even know what to look at now. Look for on sites like the education is real. You look at these sites now, you just have this premise of what you think is going on or what you think is happening or what. Man, it's a lot behind it, and if you don't know, man, like my mom, you say, yeah, I'm be saying stuff. I got old Southern parents; they told me a bunch of stuff. It's like you don't know, you better ask somebody. So
Yeah.
I had to ask somebody. I had the most beautifulest site with pictures. Oh my God, my site was beautiful. Couldn't nobody tell me my site wasn't beautiful. I knew it was. I picked the most beautiful as stock photos. I picked the most beautiful as everything. But my website wasn't saying nothing. Not
There
nothing,
you
but
go.
it wasn't saying nothing.
There you go.
Oh, but
And,
I
and
had
I always say, if you're not a photographer, photos should not be the focus. Just putting up pretty pictures is not the focus. Even photographers, they have a game plan. The game plan is to get people to work with them. So the reason why there's so many photos on their sites is so people can see their work.
yeah, I
You see what
wanted
I'm
people to
saying?
see. I wanted people to see I wanted people to see my creativity. But hey,
But you're not a creative. You're
the
not a creative. Stop it.
the thing, hey, yo, the trauma was real. Though I had the trauma. Though I had to dismantle all of that prettiness
Burn
and put
the
on my
house
website.
down.
But now my website, yeah, yes, absolutely. I had to play arsonist because we had to burn it down. But the key thing about that, and what was really easy for me to do that, is because my vulnerability let me know that's not my space. It's
Hmm.
not my space, and this is where we struggle a lot, even professionally. And this is where we struggle a lot. I'm just gonna take it to the crib. This is where we struggle a lot individually as people. You know what I mean? First of all, we don't want to admit shortcomings, because if you can't admit without admittance, you know what I mean, there can be no correction.
Mm.
So, with you saying that it's something wrong, then therein lies tell everyone and yourself, I need to do something to change what's wrong. It just makes sense, right? Right or wrong. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple laws of the land that we really have forgotten how to really live by, because everything is false. The narratives are false. What people are saying is false. There's no truth in what people are talking about. So we've got this blurred vision of what things are. And this is why it's so
Mhm.
hard for people to be authentic, because they don't know where to stand. But the realness of it is that when you authentic, you have a place to stand. You don't have to go anywhere because it's who you are. I don't have to search for Carl. Carl will be right here. If I'm not behind this poster right here, my man JC, I'm right here. So I don't have to search for it. But when you're not authentic, you got to search for where you fit in. Am I
Mm-hmm.
with this one? Because this one is. Am I part of this clique? Because I got to act this way. That's why I say there's 4 or 5 versions of you. You can't keep up with that. You
Yeah.
can't live like that. You can't even be real to yourself like that. And you can't be real to the people around you like that. So if you're not living in that vulnerability, if that's not a core part of your culture, don't worry about it being at the job, and don't worry about it being nowhere else. Because if it's not a part of your culture, it doesn't matter where you take it. That's facts for real. That
Man,
doesn't.
and it really comes back to understanding who you are, knowing who you are, and then having people connect with that.
Yes.
So because then once you are vulnerable, once you understand how to speak to people, it's easy to put stuff together and put that on your business website and then make sure that everything is in alignment. Because that's something else that we're not doing. We're not working in alignment with who we are and what we want to do ultimately to help other people. And that's where all the disconnects and you just feeling like you don't know what you're doing, or you're stalling. It's fourth quarter and there's a ton of people still stalling because they don't know, they're unclear, and they're unclear because they don't know who they are, they're not connecting with themselves, and then ultimately they don't know how to really set things up. I've been there. There's certain things like when I start creating things, should I create this? It's one thing to listen to an audience. It's one thing to listen to other people, but if you don't feel connected to that creation, no matter how much people want it, maybe you're just not that person to give it to them. That's something else too. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if people wanted a website for $100, I'm just not that person to create it. you know, it's not like I can't do it. That's just not where I am because I know what comes behind stuff like that. You're not really being put in a position to level up. And that's what my whole mission is about. My mission is to level you up, not just keep you in a band-aid state. That's not going to help you grow. That's not going to help you at all.
No, it's not going. And this is what. And just circle back to why we do this show, right? The show is
Hmm.
real talk. Like we're all adults. Everybody that's watching this, everybody that's tuning in, we appreciate the comments and things. But this is something that we took on as ambassadors to do because we wanted to have real talk about things that concern you. And if not only concerning you, what's in the concert area of you, the things that you're trying to do, who you trying to be. No one starts a business to fail. No one jumps
Hmm.
out to say, yo, I'm just going to do this in a year's time. We're going to close shop. Let me know a business owner that does that. And I can show you one that's not a business owner. I mean, it
Or a
just goes.
scam artist.
That absolutely true. Could have some pyramid people out there. I can't put nothing past nobody these days. But when you're loving what you're doing, because most business owners, entrepreneurs, those that want to start their own thing, they have a passion about what they're doing. So if you got that passion about what you're doing and you're living up to that, be passionate in that. We had a guest on a couple of shows back. Oh God, what's her name? And we were talking about the leadership. We was talking about that personal development. And
Hmm.
this is why I take on with vulnerability. And a lot of people was like, well, you came out, you talk a lot about the personal development part of individuals. I talk about that individually, and I talk about that corporately with the individual going into corporate. I don't try to teach that in corporate. And then let me explain to you what I'll say. I'm not going into corporate to try to teach them to change. I'm going into corporate to get those that work there to change.
Hmm.
And see, this is a difference of how the mindset works because I'm not going into any corporation to change a corporation. I can't do that. They're too powerful. There's too many things going on in there that I don't have access to that I couldn't even change if I wanted to. But what you
Mm.
can do is culture can be driven to change things. And that's how we do it. So when you go in and you talk to these people and you get them to see things from another perspective, can you just take for a minute? Looking at something from a perspective that you never visioned it before. That's what brings about the aha moment. So when you see people say aha, it's because they've looked at something. It's not new. There's nothing new under the sun. Solomon said it. It's not new, but the perspective that it's taking has shined a new light on it. So therefore, it's new to you and how you're processing it. And this is how
Mhm.
vulnerability works. When you're walking in vulnerability, things to you look different. because they're
Right.
not coming from a place of judgment. They're coming to a place for that is how it is. That's who they are. Wow. They're not phony. Wow. They're authentic. Wow. They're standing in power in that. And when you put those things on your website and you put those things in your messaging, people are going to say, yeah, will it be overnight success? No, it took me about 18 months to get a first client. No, it ain't nothing. But I didn't stop with the message because the message is who I am. So eventually, yeah, we go. Eventually, this show is going to take over Oprah. I'm putting it out there first while we still on LinkedIn. Yes, that's my vision. We gonna take over. We gonna take over Oprah. Ellen is retiring. All the old heads is moving out anyway. Ellen's last show. You know what I mean? Only thing we gonna have to. Jay Leno been gone. You know, only one we're gonna have to fight with Jimmy Fallon. You know what I'm saying? And the dude on
Look, I
ABC.
don't fight. I don't fight with no one. Why? There's too much out here. There's
It's
way
much
too
ratings.
much,
It's
and
much ratings.
we on a whole different level. So they
Yes,
can sit
because
there with them skits and all that. Let them do that.
absolutely. Because we real.
But
We real. Well, real recognize real.
and we here for a whole different a whole different season. So we good.
Yes, yes, we
We
good.
good
I just like to throw them names out there and let you
all
know that
day.
we ain't playing. We ain't playing out here in these streets. But it's
Yes.
yes, because it goes to the point of that we're passionate about what we do. We're passionate
Hmm.
about leveling you up because it's important. It's important to me that people do things correctly.
Right.
Will it affect me in necessarily in my directness? No, it's not. But what it does, it affects the outcome of the whole. Because if
Hmm.
everybody's doing things correctly, we all benefit. And if they ever got that down in Washington, man, what kind of United States will we be? Yeah, I got to hit that on there.
Man, you really went there.
Yeah, I had to hit that. I know. Somebody gonna say this ain't no politicalness. And look, I hit the whole gamut. See, that's being vulnerable. I hit the whole gamut.
And rightfully
Uh
rightfully so.
Yes, yeah, because it's real. It's real. It's real in these streets. And when you real like that, is you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem with addressing it. You don't have a problem with walking in it, and you don't have a problem with facing it. Because yo, I
Hmm.
know I ain't the perfect one. I guess somebody be telling me. I ain't gonna point no fingers. Somebody be telling me when I had to get my stuff together. You know what I mean? I had a little issue the other night. I had to put my phone away because sometimes I get excited about things and I just put things out there. But then that's another point of me being real. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It comes out there. So but sometimes somebody had to put the muzzle on and be like, "Yo, dude, we wasn't supposed to do that." But you always have to have people that push stuff out. Then you have to have people that clean stuff up. So it's just what it is, right? We're
But
not
not
gonna say
unnecessary cleaning. How
we're
about
not
that?
gonna say no names. We're not gonna say, we ain't gonna point no fingers, but
Woo! Almost like the pictures all over again. Like, oh Lord, don't touch that.
oh man, but it's the tools that you need. I think I put it in comments earlier about the about it's the leap of faith. That's what the vulnerability creates. It creates that leap of faith in you. It's about that trying, and it's not even so much about trying something new. It cultivates what's already there,
Right.
and it gives you the space and permission to kind of write who you are. That's really
Hmm.
what vulnerability does. It opens up an area for you to say, okay, this is where I'm going to create my talents, and whether that talents or whether I'm going to showcase my talents, whether
Right.
that's going to be on your website, or whether that's going to be in a course, whether that's going to be you striving to make those leaps in your leadership, whether you're going to be striving to get those promotions, whether you're going to
Hmm.
be there, and I hear that all the time. People say, "Oh man, how can I be vulnerable in the workplace?" Be you. Vulnerability doesn't cause for you to change. Vulnerability calls you to embrace. And this is where the misconception is. Because people, I read the dictionary back and forth. I know a lot of words in there. I've used a lot of words. I write a lot of words in them. I hate the dictionary. And when I say hate it, I hate it. You know why?
Mm.
Because it is
Tell
a
them why you're
false
mad.
man.
Tell
And
Webster
this
why you mad.
yes,
And thank you,
Miriam and
Martin.
Webster,
Thank
both of
you.
y'all. Thank you, Martin. I
Yes.
love you too, bro.
Yes. Love you
I
too.
tell you why I'm mad because first of all, you put definitions in there that by themselves create falsities. And when I say that, yeah, okay, I want y'all to because this is for the college kids too. I want you to understand that they do have definitions, words do have meaning, but I want you to look at the perspective of it and look past what's written on that page. a lot of those words inside those books have different meanings to those who's living those lives. So when
Mm,
you say that someone is vulnerable and it says automatically, it tells you in there that that's someone that's going to expose you or hurt you or do harm to you. That's some semblance of the truth. Like my mom used to tell me all the time, a lie ain't nothing but a part of the truth. So there's some truth in lies, you know what I mean? But it's manipulated to sound how who's ever telling it wanted to sound. And that's how
mm,
the dictionary is to me. That's how it's always been, even though I've read it. I'm articulate and I'm able to use the words in it. But what it is, what I've learned during living is that a lot of those words are misplaced on people. So therein
mm,
lies they take those as labels. So therein lies they don't fulfill the life how they need to because they're listening to what this word say they are. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? So now you see the connection of it. So that's why I hate the dictionary. And I hate it in the standpoint of that we don't challenge it. No, we'll go challenge somebody that lives next door to us and not the same color as us. Yeah, we get emboldened by that challenge. But we don't challenge a book that says we're inferior because someone else said we were inferior. You see what I'm saying?
mm.
So where's the disconnect in that is? Yeah, we teaching today. It ain't Black History Month. It's Black 365.
But then it's also about that goes back into you being vulnerable, you not sharing, you not connecting,
Mm-hmm.
because something else that's also going on is people are walking around acting as though they know the answer.
Oh
And
my
part
God.
of that is being vulnerable to know that you don't. As
Mm-hmm.
humans, you just don't.
So
I'm not speaking from any other species. I can only speak for the ones that I am, and I know.
yeah.
Um, and you can't always act as though you understand or you know, because sometimes you just don't. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't walk in everyone else's shoes, not because I can't um, have feelings for what you're going through, but I cannot walk around acting like I understand and I know what you're going through, because there's a lot of situations that I've been blessed not to have to go through, but
Mm-hmm.
that does not say that I am putting myself in a position to negate what you went through. And I think that's where we see a lot of issues too happening. People are negating other people's experiences. People are acting as though if their life and their bubble is great, it must be great for everyone else. And that's clearly not the case. Like, hello, get out of your bubble. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? But you getting out of your bubble does not mean now you have to also sleep on because someone else was homeless. No, help fix what's wrong. Help change some situations. Help change the way issues and things are happening around you. And it doesn't have to be something on a grand scale. Sometimes we just can't either we don't have that energy, or we just don't know where to start. So start small. Start small.
Yes. And you have to start somewhere, even if it's not the size of the start. It's that you have to start. A lot of
Mhm.
times we put things off, and I used to say it was a procrastination spirit. That's what I used to say because a lot of time people procrastinate about things that they don't want to do. But what I'm also finding out once I actually talk and dig down past that, a lot of people, it's not procrastination. A lot of people are fearful.
Mm,
And that fear is being driven by an outside source, which isn't them because they're not afraid of actually doing what they need to do. They
right.
fearful of what someone will see or say about what they do. Can you
Mhm.
imagine that power? Oh my God. I would not want to live where no one could dictate how I am. And when I say that, I don't mean that from a place of, I know there's rules and regulations, I know there's laws, those things I get. But these are walls that people have insulated you in, and
Mhm.
they don't have the power to keep you there, and you're living in those walls, in which I always say you're living beneath your privilege of who you are because you're concerned about what someone will see or say. Now,
Mm.
that's going to come back to haunt you more than anything that you've ever dealt with in your life, because what you're going to find when you get later down the road is regret. And you're going
Oh
to be
yeah.
in you're going to be in graduating from Regret University with a PhD and not doing nothing you was meant to do.
A PhD in what ifs and should haves and could what. Yeah.
Yes, a PhD and no knowledge. That's what you're gonna have, and it's gonna be your fault because you didn't embrace who you were. You didn't embrace those passions. You didn't embrace those desires. You didn't embrace those goals. You left
Mm.
those dreams still sleeping in your head. all of those things. And yes, is the avenues there for you to take on those? Is the possibilities there? There's always possibilities.
Yep.
But you have to feel empowered in yourself to say, okay, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. I think we talked the last time about having the backing of a lot of times the backing is essential to us trying things because we don't want to offend family. We don't want to upset the spouse or the partner. We don't
Yeah.
want, things to go out and we always got this contentiousness about what if it failed. Well,
Mhm.
did you think about that when you went out to your first interview? You didn't get the first job you interviewed for. I'm pretty sure you. And if you did, 9 times out of 10, you ain't still there. And if you
Mhm.
are, I'll make sure I go to the next step. And if you are you happy? Because
There you
I
go.
can guarantee you in one of those transition points. Because I don't know, I didn't like the first job I had as a kid. Beside my paper route
Yep.
was White Castles, and I know good if I will, I would not have loved to stay at White Castles. No, because I had to clean that dining room every night when we got ready to close the lobby. So I did not like it, and they made sure them kids from high school came through and they trashed it because they knew I was working there. Oh, okay. Let me bring that back in. That's on
See,
that
see,
personal.
see. You stepped into that salt cave again.
That's some of that personal stuff I was dealing with. That's some of that personal stuff. But
So,
yeah.
so, so while he's dealing with personal stuff, let me drop this link again so you can get this download. Get this sneak peek
Oh
into this
man, okay.
vulnerability toolkit.
Get
It's
this sneak
in,
peek in.
also we dropped it in the chat.
Yes,
So make sure that you connect with Carl. You get this vulnerability toolkit,
absolutely.
and also it's fourth quarter. Stop stalling. Your website needs to get redone. Damn near burned down. But before you go hiring anybody, don't spend a cent until you get your content together. Get your
Yeah,
content together
don't
so
say
you
nothing.
know. Yeah, stop falling for these okey dokes of get your website up in 2 days when you don't have no content because that's not going to happen. I'm
Yes,
just
make
gonna tell you that's
sure.
not gonna
Yes, make sure that you get your content together because it's it's essential and it's going to be your directive. It's going to be your driver. And I'll just say this as a snippet, as a kind of like a confirmation to Charlene. Before my website, the one I created, yeah, I'm proud of it because I done it. I'm not gonna be like, I didn't do that. Yes, the one that I created, the one that was pretty with pictures and paintings and photos. Yo, I did the analytics on that, and I had declines in traffic and clicks and people checking it out or whatever. I guess people got
happen.
tired of the pictures. I didn't know. I didn't know. And then I actually had somebody ask me from they looked at it from LinkedIn. This is before I even got with Charlene. They looked at it and they saw some of the posts I made on LinkedIn and they went to my
Right.
website and they was like, I see what you they DM me that like and this is how people see your stuff. So I'm gonna tell you how important it is to have strategy and have your stuff put together. I
Mm.
had on there some things. I had a few things about vulnerability and what I talked about or whatever. But I had more pictures. And then come to find out how this thing works together. Pictures I had didn't have nothing to do with the vulnerability. It didn't have anything to do. It was a disconnect even in the pictures I had. But I thought they was pretty. So I thought I was doing something. But this individual, to make a long story short, this individual told me, I don't see anything that you're bringing across the pond because they was from the UK. So they
Mm.
said, I ain't see nothing that you bought across the pond. I'm interested in your posts, but I don't see anything on your website that really directs me to me having a call to action to
Hmm.
do something because I like what you're saying. And that was my first insight to knowing that I don't really know what I'm doing right there. So when
Wow.
Charlene came with that and all of that, and I was like, I was so disconnected, but I was passionate about what I was doing, and they saw it on LinkedIn, but they didn't see it on my website. And
Mm.
now it's important to me to tie those. You don't want no loose ends. You want them tied in so people can see a consecutive, continuous message coming from you. And that's what builds your credibility, your strength, your empowerment. Is people see you saying the same thing wherever you are. And that was only preaching what I always preach. Take you with you where you go. And I
Yes.
wasn't taking me with me where I was going. So get
See.
your website together, get it strategy. She'll work it out for you. She'll put it on there. If you need my help, I'm awfully here. I'll tell you how to put the vulnerability pieces in there so people can reach and you can connect and people can
Yes.
see what you're really talking about, what you're passionate about. I'll give you the vulnerability piece. She'll give you the website piece, and we hook it together. You have a marriage made in heaven. We got you.
Talk about it.
Real talk. Real
About it.
recognize real.
Real talk indeed. Thank you, Martin. I adjusted the link. I'm just gonna put it out here too. Um, so y'all can get into there, get into it, get into that. Um,
Yes.
and let's make sure that we are helping each other get to the next level. Now, please, help does not always have to be free. That's something else we get caught in. And this my last note, that something that I've learned, and I've been learning it recently. I've been having people reinforce it to say, because in my spirit is you know when things are off. So to
Mhm.
have the reinforcements of that thought, to say you don't have to keep giving away everything, because that's not what you're here for. You're here to help, but you're not also here to starve. So don't think that that's what you were meant to do.
Yeah, you're not out here to start, but you got to take the leap. And
Yeah.
if you don't take the leap, I think I put in there, that's the leap of faith that I'm talking about. That vulnerability is really that. It's really that leap of faith that you're going to take. That's really going to put you to a level that you will be. So I tell people all the time, I'm surprised that you will be surprised, because I'm not surprised, because I've been living in it, so I know what transformation it makes. But you'll be so surprised that when you start living in the things that you actually believe in, how
Yes.
empowered you will feel, how you'll walk with your chest held out, and it's not a
Hmm.
falsity, how you will be empowered by not worrying about what people think of you, but how you carry yourself as who you are. Man,
Yeah.
it's nothing more powerful than that. You can walk as powerful as the president of the United States and not worry about what nobody says. You can really have that authority, because it puts you on that, exactly, it puts you on the collision course with a leap of faith. Yes, it's going to take a leap of faith. Yes, because
Hmm.
everybody's not going to want to run and do it.
They
So if you can do it, if you can do it, if you do it, you'll believe it.
Yes. And before we go, make sure you get to the new site, real talk
Yes.
live podcast.com. Put your
Mm,
email in so we
put
can
it in
notify
there.
you when we go live. Okay?
Put it
Stop
in
fronting.
there.
You want to know.
That's it. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. Put it in there. Catch us on hashtag replay. We definitely want to see you. Continue to put your comments in. We thank those who come out, those who continue to support us through these, what, like 6 months now, maybe. But
Yeah.
on this latter 6 months that we're doing it, we only been doing the show since like August, July, man.
Hmm.
And it is just taken off, and we're really happy about it. We're definitely humbled about it. It's no big heads over
Yeah.
here, no big eyes, a little U's. We work together as a team. We definitely humble about it. We stay humble. If you stay humble, you'll stay blessed. Learn that at a
Mhm.
very early age, and things will work out for you. And they are doing just that for us. And we're
Yeah.
proud of it. We're proud of what we're bringing. We're proud of the product that we're doing. And we want to be right for you guys. So, real talk, is we coming to the website. Man, I'm excited about the website. Maybe y'all see the website drop, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm excited. Yes, yes, Mark. Mic drop, man. I'm
Mic drop.
dropping the mic. I'm dropping the mic. Mark trying to tell me I'm sloppy quiet. I know what you're doing, Mark. I know what you're doing.
Uh
We
oh.
got
Uh oh.
Yes, the struggle is real. Yes. Oh, I
The
get.
snuggle. It says the snuggle is real. What's wrong
Oh,
with
yo, this is they blinding my light with these bright lights. Like these
I
bright
like
lights is
my
coming off
cup.
my
I like I
lenses.
like I like my mug. I like my
Yeah,
mug.
yeah. Speaking of mugs,
Uh-oh.
we got some mugs. I got them in my cart. I'm going to definitely be sharing those with you. You're going to be able to order mugs from us. I'm doing the t-shirt campaign as well, so you're going to soon be doing that. Y'all, Real Take is here to stay. It's here to stay. So I'll tell y'all, when we when we doing it live, we doing it live, and we're going to keep you on the journey every sense of the way. Going to put
Yes.
it out. We're going to put out some me and Charlie gonna talk about some pictures or some things we put out, see what you guys like in the community,
Mm-hmm.
get your take on it. We definitely not gonna do this without you guys, because we can't do it without you guys. You guys are our support, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Martin, I back channel you. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong. This is not Clubhouse.
Wrong
I,
app. Wrong app.
I sent you a message. So yo, we're gonna hook up, my friend. We're gonna talk more. We appreciate everyone that has came out. Chandra, we love you as always. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you for dropping in on us and checking us out.
Yes.
Yes, Phyllis Solo said vulnerability takes ammunition away from the haters. You know, that's
Yes,
that
man.
that's that GC, that GC brand mama country.
She ain't playing with
Get
y'all.
get no
and
country.
and and that's Phyllis is someone that you want to get connected to, and she'll
Yes.
help you get your brand right. But she's not for everybody. and she
Yeah.
knows she don't want to be for everybody. So connect with her, get to know her, see what she's talking about, and learn. Lord, learn. 2022 coming up. We don't got time for people
We
looking
got
crazy in the
time.
streets.
I
We don't
know
got
back
time
in the
for
day,
it.
they ain't got no time for that. Remember they used to have that little meme of that little lady back there? They
Oh
interviewed her.
yeah, nobody
Ain't
got time
nobody
for
got
that.
time for that. Yeah. We right back there right now. We in 2022 and I'm saying the same thing. Ain't nobody got time for that. So if
Yeah,
you don't get it together, you're gonna be left behind. You're gonna
all
get
the way
right or get
behind.
left.
Not
Get
even
right or
looking
get
back.
left.
Like, look, I know the stories in the Bible, but child,
Right.
don't have me quoting nobody's name. But the same one who looked back and turned to salt, that's not me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be
Man.
17 blocks ahead
She,
listening. They told me to
she,
keep it moving.
keep it moving. She ain't even
They
look.
told me to keep it moving.
It was so messed up what she did. They didn't even give her no name. That was Lot's wife. She didn't even have no name. The Bible didn't even
There you
give her
go.
one. So I'm
There
saying,
you
so
go.
that's to let you know your foolishness is not gonna be contained. Nobody even
There you
gonna
go.
remember that. They just gonna
Don't even
remember
want
what you did. That's it. And they ain't gonna want to be associated with you. So if you don't get it together, check us out, the Vulnerability Toolkit. Also check out Charlene with her website, that struggle site. Make sure you get on there. Make
to.
sure if
Man,
you don't have your stuff together, check us out. DM either one of us. Connect with either one of us. If you want to talk about the show, we definitely can have you on. We have the link in
yeah.
there. It's all in there. Hashtag replay. We appreciate those that came out live. Hashtag replay. Go check us out. Let us know how you feel. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for another episode. On Thursday, we normally on Thursday. Okay, officially, I'll be out of town again. I'll be out of town
He
in
ditching
South
us, y'all.
Carolina.
He ditching us. He traveling the world. He said, bump this, bump COVID.
Yeah,
They opened up
yeah,
everything.
they didn't open up the airports. I got to send a shout out for the people that's fooling with Southwest. I do American. I know they all been getting flights canceled left and right.
Man, Southwest gave me a nice reality show, but I was not flying Southwest.
Yeah, they I can't fool with Southwest. American is a big airport here in Philly, so this is what I go out of. So I never had any problem on my flights. I actually ran into a few people that took different flights and they didn't even get their little bag of pretzels and soda. So I appreciate
Now,
American. Shouts out to you.
now you know American act a whole up.
Yeah, they do act though.
They act all the way
It's a
up.
whole different level, y'all. I'm not special. I just realized when game recognized game, and I knew they was on game. I knew they was on game, so I just went on with them, and that's been I flew to them to Disney. I flew with them out when I went out to Texas. I flew with
Y'all.
them a couple of weeks ago to Arizona, and I'm flying out with them to South Carolina. So game recognized game. I even had to do the little 60,000 miles credit card thing they give American. I'll give y'all a plug. Y'all ain't answered me yet about my 60,000 miles. I need my miles.
Bump
They
a
going
plug. Bump that. Tell them to give you your points. Stop playing.
yes, I need my points. I need my points. And I could also go with those sponsor dollars too, because we trying to do big things. So American, if you're listening, you know what I mean, we hear you. We hear you. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We won't be on Thursday, so I'm gonna send a video out just bumping us up, let you know to stay encouraged on the
Yeah.
rest of this week. Go after what you want to go after. Be real to yourself because no one else matters. You're not real
Yep.
to you. You're not really real. You're not functioning how you need to be. So keep that love for yourself and those that you love, your family members. We will be back on the set on Tuesday. We're gonna bring it to you. We're gonna have an amazing guest. Let me get my calendar right quick. And who see we gonna have
Oh
on
my
Tuesday? We
God,
got Jenny Tilgren. We going across the pond, y'all. We're going over to the
and she
UK.
does branding too.
She does branding, and she's a LinkedIn ambassador. She got some LinkedIn stuff going on to build you up level you up in your business. So we're going across the pond, and we're gonna talk a little jolly all, and gonna make sure I have my tea. Gonna make sure I have my tea, and I'm probably gonna wear my plaid sweater so I can feel royal. You know what I
Oh
mean? So
Lord. So we doing purple.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
this
we gonna do
a
the
contingent? Okay.
the purple
Okay.
or the green or something. We got to do something for something royal over there. So we gonna
Well,
make
I'm
sure
not
that we
wearing
get.
that little hat. I'm not doing that. We
No, I don't
good.
do the hats. No, I don't do the hats. I don't do the hats. No, I can't do the hats. I'm not doing the hats. Maybe I'll rock a polo baseball cap or something. But other than that, that's about far as we going. But we're gonna do that with Jenny, and she's gonna tell us how to level up and how she's been doing tremendous things with her LinkedIn. And she's also going to give you insight to me and her working together on a little bit with that vulnerability. We've made some contact with some people over there that she's introduced me to, and I'm following up with them. And I'm trying to get over there to the UK. You know, I would love to fly over there and hang out with the Queen. You know what I mean? I'll tell her how brother get down. I know she got Meghan Markle in the family now, but she ain't got no brothers in the family. We tell her how to get down.
Oh my God. You trying to be her next?
No, I'm just trying to be. I just want to hang out. You know what I mean? Queen got her own
Mhm.
thing. I just want to hang out. I just want to get some of them tips. You know what I mean? Because she been in the game for a long time. The Queen been around a long time, though. So I want to get some of her tips. Well, how she get this longevity in this game?
She got
That's
that
it.
kung fu grip on that crown.
That's it. She got that crowd game on. I don't know, Harry, all y'all, you forget it, yo. She ain't going
She's
nowhere
like,
with that.
bye.
Bye, Felicia.
She's
She
like,
ain't doing
retire
it.
who?
She is stroking, so we got to get over there to the Queen. But we look forward to Jenny being on. You guys have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. Live on purpose, because that's the only way that you truly live in. And me and Charlene will be back with you guys next week, Tuesday, 10 a.m. right here. Meet us back. Y'all have a
And
great
we're
one.
gonna test something out, so we'll see how that work out. I'm not gonna
Charlene
mention
is
it just in case it don't fly. So
in case it don't fly, because Charlene is a test one now. She's a test one. She will test it.
all right,
Oh man.
y'all.
All right,
Have a
y'all.
good
Peace.
one.
Peace.
Deuces.